But it's so interesting.
Well, you should look it up. That's why you have Google and Wikipedia, everything there for you at your fingertips.
But you're the smart one when it comes
smart.
to this technology.
I am smart in general, period.
And when it comes
I am
to this
the smart
technology,
one.
when it comes to this
I'm glad we
technology,
agree on that.
You're smarter when it comes to this technology.
I think I'm smarter about a lot of things.
Like what?
Pop music,
Okay.
day jobs that involve sitting down and doing math.
Oh, I hate you. That was a low blow. Okay, that was a real low blow.
That was a low blow. Your work, you like it?
Sure, but I stand up and I'm miserable.
Well, I mean, I'm miserable too.
Yeah, but you can at least like be on your phone and be miserable and like, chat with people and like check Twitter.
Yeah, but it's.
I have to sneak into the office and be like, oh, my boss isn't here. My boss isn't here. I can check Twitter really quick.
But you can talk to customers and be like, hi, how are you?
I don't want to talk to customers.
But you're good at it. They all love you. They come back and they ask for you.
Well,
I mean, you're an actor.
I am, aren't I?
You're putting that BFA to good use.
Oh, I'm a great actor when it comes to the restaurant. Ooh, so lately though, this year I have not been.
Have you not?
I've been like, I've just been like matter of fact, just like, hi, how are you? What can I get you to drink? Da 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 da. Thank you. Bye. Like I'm very much just like, no.
Has it affected your tips or no?
No, not at all. I find that the quality of my service does not affect my tips whatsoever.
Really?
I find that
what affects it?
If people are gonna tip badly, they're gonna tip badly.
Interesting.
Yeah, unless like I do something really like over the top nice for them. Sometimes they're like, oh, I'm gonna tip more and everything. Right. But I find that people are pretty. My service could be excellent and they tip nothing, or my service could be honestly quite terrible and they still tipped like 20%.
I was gonna say I don't think unless someone's like actively horrible, I don't change I'm always like 20%.
Yeah, you're just like yeah, sure, they did it.
They did
Congrats.
it. And like they gotta live too.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure they worked hard in other arenas, so sure.
Have you ever been to meals with people either on a date or just friendship settings and then they tip and you see what they tip and you're like absolutely?
I have not. No,
good.
I've never gone on a date with someone who's like actively a bad tipper.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I do find that when a guy is on a date with a girl and he flips the check over,
that means he's a bad tipper.
That means he's a bad tipper.
So he's doing
ladies, watch out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess in straight dating, the guy pays. So maybe that's
yeah.
Because the thing is, we split. At least on my first dates, I would split. I'd be like, I don't really know you.
I always find that if I'm on a date with someone a little bit younger, then I feel inclined to pay.
Oh, that's nice.
If I'm on a date with someone older, they feel inclined to pay, and I'm like, sure.
I am always about let's split it until like I decide I like you, then I will pay for the one.
Okay.
And then you can pay for the next.
I'm very much like. You pay for this one, I pay for the second one. Then from here on out, we split it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We work backwards.
Wow.
Everyone's so different.
Guys, our lives.
We're so unique. That's the thing. Our names may be the same, but we're very different.
We really are. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Two Gay Mats podcast. It's another exciting, thrilling week with the Two Gay Mats.
Yes.
Matt Palmer and Matt Steele.
It's the two of us. Just the two of us.
They're making castles in the sky.
Yes. Will Smith sampled that with his son that's not Jaden in the video. What's the older son's name?
I don't know. I remember that video, though, specifically.
Oh, it was great.
Wait, was it a sample or was it like the actual song?
No, that song is an old song.
Yeah, I know it's an old song, but like I figured he was just doing a cover of it.
No. I mean, it's not a rap song. Like Will Smith is rapping on that song.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think about it much. I always figured like, oh, this is Will Smith's cover of an old song.
No, I mean,
okay.
I mean, he did write some of it. He wrote the verses that were like.
Yeah, but it's also called Just the Two of Us, right?
It is, but even though it's still a different song.
It's still a sample. Okay,
like, a cover would be the exact lyrics, melody, that kind of thing.
It was a cute music video. I remember they were like in a studio but playing with sand or something.
I'm gonna look it up. What do you guess the child's name is?
Oh God, I don't know what.
I'm gonna guess
this kid's
Jason.
Name is. Jason Smith. Jason.
What are you guessing?
I'm guessing Jason. Why do you say Jason?
You have 1 second to think of his name.
Carter.
Trey.
Why would his name be
It's
Carter?
definitely not Carter. There are no black Carters.
I know.
That's not a name of a black person.
I know.
Well, now we know.
Literally the whitest name imaginable. Like I cringed when I said it out loud.
I know. You knew it was wrong, but you said it and that's good.
I don't know why I thought of it.
Well, you had to go for something. We were in the middle of a game. This is how Matt Steele plays games, by the way.
Absolutely. I'm an actor. I go big with my improv.
Always. It's a big swing. So how are you, Matt Steele? How's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. I'm trying to think what I did.
Yeah.
Not much.
I love that for you.
I know. I love that for me.
In a post-Big Brother world.
In a post-Big Brother world. Guys, we also, in the email, My Heart section, we got an email from Angela who told us that she went to high school with Nicole from Big Brother. So Angela, I'm going to need you to reach out to me and give me all those details.
I mean, she gave us some details that she was nice or whatever. She wasn't in the same grade, I don't think.
The salutatorian and gave a great speech.
Those are
she's a queen.
Good details.
Yeah, but Angela, I want more details.
Like what? Like what she wore
I don't know.
every day?
What did she smell like?
Okay, that's weird. Don't tell him that. But yeah, I mean, I think a post Big Brother life has a lot more time for you. I saw you hanging out with Matt Bridges and Fernando.
I was.
Instagram.
We went down the shore.
Oh.
We went to Santa Monica Pier hanging out.
I mean, it's the beach.
We went down the shore.
Okay, well,
yeah,
the beach.
Wow, someone's judging.
I'm not. I'm
my
just saying.
Culture.
I am not judging your culture.
In
I'm just
Jersey,
saying.
we call it going down the shore.
Yeah, but we're not in Jersey.
Yeah, but I am always in Jersey.
You're in Jersey
my heart.
I knew it. Well, that looked fun. Was it cold?
Not overly.
Yeah.
It was pretty fine. It was
That's
pretty
good.
Yeah. So I'm trying. Tell me about your week, and then I'll remember what I did during my week because I honestly don't remember what I did.
It happens. My week has been very good. My mom has been in town.
I know. How's that? What you've been doing?
It's been great. So she got here on Thursday, and she always wants to go to all the museums. So we have been to the Getty Villa. Mm-hmm. We also have been to the California African American Museum, which was very cool, which I had not been to. We're going to the Getty today after we record this and film a video. And I think we went to one other one.
The Broad.
The Broad, yes, of course. And the Broad was very cool. And
did you do the free Broad or did you do the pay?
The free, what's the pay?
There's you can pay to get special secret exhibits that
I'm all set. We went to the free Broad and it was wonderful. And there was an exhibition by an artist, Mark Bradford, I believe his name is. He is also a gay black man and he does mixed media deconstruction artwork of he would find things in an area around LA and then make a whole giant canvas of it all on top of each other and then just tear things off. And it was very cool.
Okay.
And he was the main exhibition. My mom had seen him on 2020 or 60 Minutes or something. And we love
2020 or 60 Minutes.
Whatever it was.
I don't think 2020 airs anymore.
Oh, well, wasn't that? Just imagine. I mean, I don't watch a lot of network television if I'm not watching This Is Us, which, by the way, was much better this week, much more focused on the characters we know and love. Or know and hate, but at least know, which I appreciated. So I have had that this weekend. And what else has been going on this past week? I don't think anything too crazy for me either. We're moving.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that was our week, guys.
That was our week. We knew that our apartment building had been sold, but we were I bet the rent's going to go up a little bit. What can you do? And I get this phone call on when was it? Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm on it. I get a text from the guy being hey, we just want to talk to you about the building and what's happening.
Yeah,
and
I'm your new owner. Hello.
Exactly. And so I give him a call. He's okay, well, I'm not the new owner, but I am just representing the people who bought this building. And
you were probably just shit.
And I was just okay. And he was you need to move out by February. And I was okay.
Yeah, we guess they're renovating everything.
Yes.
And probably because they're sort of, developing our neighborhood a lot.
Right.
So all the buildings are getting nicer and nicer.
Yes. And our building's kind of not the nicest. No shade.
No, it's a lovely little building.
But it could get nicer. And so I think they're going to, because it's a very good part of town. And so I think they're going to make it very nice and then up the rent by a whole lot.
Of course. Yeah. And in order to do that, they have to kick everyone out.
Exactly.
Kick all middling people out.
Exactly. So since we're middling and getting kicked out, luckily we're getting a little bit of kashish.
Shh, don't tell the audience.
I mean, yes, we don't want to get robbed, but I don't think they know our address. So it's not that much. And we also haven't gotten it yet. So you'd get paintings on the wall if you want that.
Yeah, exactly. And also it will not be our address for much longer.
Exactly. So. But honestly, I had a bit of a breakdown about this apartment a few months ago because I was in the mood for cinnamon rolls. I was in the mood for cinnamon rolls. I put them in the oven and midway through the making. And the thing is, our oven's been garbage for a long time. Midway through making the cinnamon rolls, the oven just turned off. And I was we're moving.
I get a text message in the morning just how would you feel about moving? I'm looking at these apartments. I can't live here anymore with this oven that is broken. And I was oh my God.
Floors are garbage. I need hardwood.
The floors aren't garbage.
I hate the floors.
The floors just have carpet on them. But
no, they're gross, thin outdoor carpet.
It's like office carpet. Office
it's disgusting.
Carpeting.
It's not even comfy. It's gross. The carpets are bad. I just can't live here. I can't live with that oven. I need a dishwasher because I just can't not have a dishwasher anymore.
Not having a dishwasher is hard.
And I mean, we've been looking online and there are a few places that are really stealing my heart.
But but a couple after that apartment scare with the oven, we had since gotten a new oven, and we were like, okay, this is fine. We got a new oven. It works. We can stay here. Matt Palmer's no longer freaking out. That fast forward a couple months later, we have to leave.
But at least I'm glad we didn't leave before because we wouldn't have gotten that money.
I mean,
it all worked out. So now we're in the market for a new apartment. So if you are in the West LA area and you know a place that would give us a good deal with great floors and a dishwasher and a great oven that works, let us know. Send us an email at 2kmessage@gmail.com. We'll listen. We're looking for anything. We're going to find a new place. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. We're going to document our move. Talk to all of you.
That news to me?
Well, I mean, document it in the sense like, this is a funny story that happened.
Okay, all right.
Watch us fight. Remember that one video where we got into an actual fight?
About the moving. That was great. That was wonderful, actually. But it was I think it's the only time we've gotten into a real fight on camera.
Amazing. You were just so angry all of a sudden. I was like, okay, calm down.
Well, you were like, I mean, I don't need a U-Haul. I can fit everything in my car.
And you were like,
we're getting a U-Haul. We have a lot of stuff. We have things.
And we did need the U-Haul.
We did need the U-Haul.
You were right about that.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm right about a lot of things. Some people would say. Okay, news for idiots. I also feel is light. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that, and that's what I'm going to say every week, because I feel like the news cycle is getting taken up with whistleblowers and, Trump impeachment inquiries. And you know what? I'm all for it.
We love it.
We love it. I'm happy about it. And I'm excited about this whistleblower number 2 we're getting. So can't wait. First thing, the weekend box office. Surprise to no one. Joker makes $93.5 million.
Okay,
that was actually kind of surprising to me because I felt like people, I mean, maybe I was wrong, but I felt like people were a little scared to go to the movie theater to see this film.
Yeah, they had to cancel showings and everything.
They canceled showings, I believe, in New York and LA at points.
Because there were threats that someone was going to shoot up the place.
Exactly, which is like, well, I can wait till it's on. Actually, I don't ever need to see this, but if I were to see it, I could see it at home.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm just like, I'm going to see it on a weekday during the day when no one is there, not when it's going to be a massive crowd of people. And that's honestly when the best time to see movies anyway, but
it's also like, how sad is it that this is the times that we're living in?
I know that we're afraid to go to the movie theater.
It's disgusting, but apparently it's not too bad for the director. Who directed this movie? Do we know?
I forget his name.
It was some guy who was pissed.
Todd Phillips, something like that.
I think maybe Todd Phillips.
Yeah, okay.
Was he the guy who...
he directed The Hangover.
Yes, and he was the one that when asked, why don't you do comedy anymore? And he's like,
you can't do comedy
now because everyone gets pissed at you for not being PC. And as
comedies are doing fine.
Exactly. If you can be smart and comedic, then you're doing great. But unfortunately, things like Dave Holmes pointed out in the first Hangover, paging Dr. Faggot, which was the huge hilarious moment in the first act.
Oh, 2009 was such a time.
I know, and the thing is, it feels like so recent, but it was so long ago.
It really was.
It's that is just not acceptable, and it wasn't really acceptable then. But it was a different time. We didn't know.
Yeah, but we all laughed. And,
I don't know if I did see that. I must have seen that.
I saw the first Hangover.
I think I saw it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fun.
It's fine.
But
I thought the most attractive guy was on the roof the whole time. And that was upsetting.
Oh, him? Yeah.
He was cute. He ended up being on The New Normal, right? Yeah. I think he was one of the gays with the gay guy with Andrew Rannells.
Straight in real life.
Yes. I remember looking that up and being disappointed.
Yeah, especially because in the movie you're kind of just like in
The Hangover?
In The Hangover, I was kind of like, is the actor gay? I kind of think he's cute.
I know. He has a wife and child or
Zach
something.
Galifianakis came into my restaurant a couple days ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
His movie just came out on Netflix.
Yes, I hear it's really fun.
I hear it's great. And I have a friend of a friend. My friend Janie has a friend named Reka, and I've met Reka several times. She's in the movie. And so I'm very proud of her and excited for her. But we're not that close that I could text her.
All right, Reka. Shout out to Reka.
Right, but shout out to Reka. We love her. She is a college humor person as well. She is on the cast. So she's doing great.
Well, I'm excited to see Joker. It seems very divisive in terms of some people who are movie fans are just I hated it, I hated it, and some people are like, oh my god, it's a masterpiece. Okay. So I'm kind of just okay, that means it makes strong choices. It's currently in the top 10 ratings, top 10 movies of all time.
What?
On IMDb. Yes. So that'll go down. It's whenever a big movie like this sort of comes out that's very bro-y and the bros sort of love it, they always rush to give it high ratings and it pops up in the top 10 and then it falls gradually.
Of course.
So I'm very interested.
Yeah.
Apparently big choices are made. I know there's a scene apparently where a bunch of guys beat up Joaquin Phoenix while singing the entirety of Send in the Clowns.
No.
And it's kind of just I read something online that was just this is where you have to suspend your disbelief.
Yes.
Suspend your belief because what straight guy knows all the verses to Stephen Sondheim's Send in
How
the
long is that
Clowns?
song? How long is this going on?
I mean, it's an average length song,
Okay,
I would
alright.
say, like a 3-minute song. But like it's a song that no straight man knows all the words.
I don't know all the words.
There's literally a joke in Golden Girls where Sophia guesses that a guy is gay because she was like, I was listening to him in the shower and he's the only man I've ever heard who knew all the words to Send in the Clowns. Like,
Well,
So-
was she wrong?
she wasn't
Well,
wrong.
there you go.
So I'm all about a full show tune used in a movie.
Right. Well, speaking of films, I did see Judy this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're going to talk about it on our main channel. But someone may have overhyped it.
Okay, Matt Palmer came home and he was just like, nothing happened. And I was like, go to bed.
I don't think it was bad. I think Renee Zellweger did a good job, and I was interested to learn more about Judy. Plot driven, it is not.
Of course, it's a character study.
I just assumed they would have beats and a story.
There were beats everywhere.
Were there?
There were. We'll talk about it on our
We
main
will,
channel.
but I just feel like don't run to the theater because Matt Steele told
Run
you to.
to the theater,
no,
guys.
Maybe wait a minute. It's gonna be fine. This is the second story just because I think it's so funny when like old white men have like feuds, and I really am excited about it. So apparently Henry Winkler was on Watch What Happens Live with Dan Rather and also Nicole from Big
Nicole
Brother
from
at
Big
the
Brother.
bar. But at some point during the show, he was asked about his supposed feud with Tom Hanks that was sparked during the filming of Turner and Hooch, which I didn't even know that was a movie. Didn't know there was a supposed.
Didn't know Turner and Hooch was a movie?
No, never heard of
It's
it.
about a guy and his dog.
Oh, yes. And well, Winkler explained that after he was directing the film for only 13 days, he was fired. He basically was brought into some executive's office. The executive was like, did you bring all of your stuff with you? And he was like, yeah. And he's like, good, you're no longer needed.
Well, I had no idea, A, Henry Winkler directed anything.
Right.
And B, let alone directed Turner and Hooch. And C, was fired.
Was fired. He got fired 13 days after. And so Andy Cohen asks, is it true that you and Tom Hanks had a feud? And in a very Mariah Carey-esque response, Henry Winkler said that he loved working with the true star of the film, the dog. He and the dog got along great with that dog. Love that dog.
I need to see this.
I'm telling you, it is hilarious. I was listening to it on the podcast version. It's just like, I need to get them both in a room.
That is brilliant shade.
It's brilliant shade, A. And B, it's like, think of two more like likable old white men than Tom Hanks and Henry Winkler.
They're literal saints.
Yes, but they're Mariah and J-Lo.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Oh my God.
Which, by the way, a little unrelated. I had a dream last night that I was in charge of the Oscars. But somehow I was obviously corresponding with Mariah's team. I wanted her to be a presenter. And then it came out that she was going to be presenting the Best Supporting Actress Award or whatever. And it's like J-Lo was a nominee.
Iconic.
And she was like, how dare you do this to me, Matt? And I was like, no, I didn't realize this is what it was for. I didn't approve this. And also, she's going to lose anyway, Mariah. Don't worry about it. You'll just be giving it to someone else. Anyways.
Wow, that's a great dream.
I love that my dreams are shady. Like, what in the world? But yes, Henry Winkler versus Tom Hanks. Latest celebrity
I
feud.
need to know everything.
I need the next feud.
You know what? It was when Tom Hanks was very young and like very much like a hot thing. So maybe there was a time period where Tom Hanks had a little bit of like an
attitude?
not that I'm like taking sides or anything, but like
sounds like you
but
are.
like it maybe like because I remember I heard a story of who's the woman from The Good Wife. Julianne Margulies. And apparently she was Julia Roberts' like waitress at one point in like the 80s, like late 80s, early 90s or whatever. And apparently she met Julia Roberts and was like, oh, I was your like waitress once in this era of time. And Julia Roberts apparently was just like, oh God, how was I to you?
Was I horrible?
and like, was I horrible? And Julianne Margulies was just like, you were pretty terrible.
Oh, was she really?
Apparently. And Julia Roberts was just like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was so young and like, I was a fresh, like new celebrity. And, and so I had such an ego and I'm so sorry. So like, maybe there was a time period where like Tom Hanks,
I guess
like,
so.
was maybe a little bit of a diva.
My gosh, if when Divos comes out, are you going to be like this? Are you going to start being rude to everyone, servers mostly?
Absolutely.
I was hoping for the opposite answer, but here we are.
No, just kidding.
Monster.
It's just going to be me, guys. Oh, I'm sure there are some people who worked on Divas who are probably just like, oh, Matt Steele's such a diva. When really, I was pretty funny.
I'm trying to think if people would say I was a diva on Get. I don't think they'd say I was a diva. I think I was just very much like, we need to go. Like, we need to work
let's
and
do
get
this.
this done.
This is
let's
what
get it fast. We only
like.
have
Oh no,
this.
this isn't right.
Yes, we only have this for so long.
Yes,
this isn't right. Let's get it right.
Let's
I
get
was
it
never. I was not mean. I was not. I was kind.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I wasn't like. I was focused.
Yeah.
We had
everyone
job
always
to do.
tells me they're just when I'm working on like a set or something, they're just like, you're very, very focused, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like we don't want to waste money. We don't want to waste time.
Yeah,
like,
and it's just like I want to get this right.
Yes,
like there's a lot invested in this.
Yes, there is.
Let's go.
All right, so Miley Cyrus is out living her single girl life, and apparently she was somewhere in public with an Australian singer named Cody Simpson, who a long time ago was supposed to be the next Justin Bieber. It never really happened. No shade. We love everyone. But he was supposed to be like, oh, I'm going to be the Jack Johnson version of Justin Bieber. Like, I play guitar and like sing songs about the beach and I'm Australian and all this stuff.
Love it.
But he and Miley apparently have maintained a friendship. And now that Miley Cyrus is single, she was caught making out with Cody Simpson somewhere in public. Someone filmed it. And apparently after that, she got very slut-shamed because she's so recently separated from Liam Hemsworth.
And a girl. Wasn't she dating a girl after Liam?
Oh, yeah. She was dating Brody Jenner's ex-wife, Caitlyn, I guess, Jenner.
Okay.
Not Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of the people in that crowd.
Yes, exactly. So then Miley Cyrus tweeted, I know the public feels invested in my past relationship because they felt like they saw it through from the beginning. I think that's why people have always felt so entitled over my life and how I live it because they've watched me grow up, blah, blah, blah. Men are rarely slut-shamed. They move on from one beautiful young woman to the next and most times without consequence. They're usually described as legends, heartthrobs, ladies' man. When women are being called sluts and whores, she's just trying to thrive and have a hot girl fall. And basically she talks about how she doesn't want to be a recluse, doesn't want to have to date out of her home because she thinks that's weird and not terribly safe when she's getting to know a new person. And yeah, she's saying like, she goes on to be like, you know what, I wouldn't trade all the good things in my life to have privacy, but I would just like us to think about how we're talking about this because if I were a man, cue The Man by Taylor Swift, the conversation would be very different. I think I'm allowed to date and find other people. I also think it's funny how casually she's talking about dating him and Cody Simpson's putting on his Instagram story and being like, this is my baby, and it's like, oh. Like, our public perceptions of what this relationship is are kind of off, so let's have a conversation about it,
guys.
But she's like, yeah, don't be creepy and film me please if you see me making out with a guy in public, and I think that's the least we can all do.
That's legit. You know? Get him, Miley.
I feel like if I saw Miley in public, I'd be like, oh my god, and then I'd be like, see ya. I don't know that unless I wanted a selfie, I wouldn't. I just feel like the creeping kind of like taping of celebrities.
It is very
strange.
weird. Yeah.
And also like they have eyes. They can see you do that. Like no one is as slick as they think they are.
They know that everyone sees them.
Yes.
They're not
so
dumb.
if you like have your phone a little up and you're like pretending to look at yourself, they know you're filming.
Do you think that Beyonce's mom and Blue Ivy knew that I was taking secret pictures of them at the noodle place?
Yes, but I think they were fine with it because you were so far away.
I was so far away. They weren't looking in my direction.
Yeah,
though.
but they just know. I feel like especially Tina, she's been around. I mean Blue by this point, but they've been around, you know.
I feel like Blue's got eyes in the back of her head.
She does. She knows it all.
Oh, God.
Not everybody has that.
She's cursing me right now.
I mean, how do you feel about Miley being slut-shamed?
I think she shouldn't be I think she should make out with whoever she wants to make out with. She's a single girl. As long as she doesn't film any more videos like the Do It video.
Yes, that's the only thing we would like her not to do.
That's the only thing Miley should be shamed for.
I mean, hey, I agree with that.
Spitting out that glitter liquid.
Are you a public makeouter or no?
Not a public makeouter, but like a public affection person.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a holding hands, arm around each other.
Yes.
And like a kissing moment.
Yeah, I'd do a peck. I wouldn't do like
public
a full
makeout. No, I'm not 19 anymore with my first boyfriend.
Were you doing that when you were 19?
Not really, I would say. But I would be more inclined to do it then than I would be now that I'm an old man. And I'm just like, no one look at me.
I love that after you filmed Devos, you just fully were like, like, now I am old.
Now I am old. No longer high school, guys.
Finally out of high school. Yeah, no, I don't think I ever really was into it. I do remember one time I had a boyfriend who he drank a bit.
Oh.
And so we found a bottomless wine place, which, like, how is that even a thing in New York? And I remember that it's one of those things that I look back on now and I'm so embarrassed about, but I remember being in a cab on the way home and like making out furiously while being driven home, and I'm just like, oh my god, what fucking trash boxes. He was like, these fucking gays. And I'm sure I would have earned it if he thought that.
It was a cab driver in New York City. They've seen beheadings in the back of cabs.
Yes,
please.
they've seen it all, but even still, I just look back and I'm like, that wasn't the move. I just feel like it's not the move.
You were so young. Trust me, the cab driver has forgotten all about you.
I guess I gotta let it go.
Yeah, that's not that bad. I'm sure there are some embarrassing moments of me with my ex-boyfriend when we were, like 19 in New York City and showing too much affection in public and everything. It
happens.
We've
all been there.
You're excited. You're young. You're in love.
And you're like, this is the first time this happened. I bet it's the only time it's ever gonna happen. And it's like, oh, not true.
You're just like, this is the one. He's the one. And
also not true.
He's not, guys.
Really not. I have this up only because I want to rub it in your face. Guess what Taylor Swift performed on SNL?
What?
Well, she performed Lover at the piano. It was very cool. Second song was a song she has not performed off of Lover yet. What was it?
Was it False God?
Yes, it was. And she did a great job.
Okay,
saxophonist.
I feel like that is a very SNL vibe song, like a very cool song.
It is cool.
Sure, I'll accept it.
You need to, do you think London Boy is better than False God?
No, I don't. I genuinely don't think London Boy is better than False God. But I don't particularly care to listen to False God. Like, it just doesn't move me that much. It's kind of just like, sure.
That's fine.
We did it. There's a saxophone. I'm digging this.
I think it's,
like,
I like it.
It's great.
I feel like it's what Treacherous wishes it could be,
Okay.
You need to check on your Jersey Shore friends.
No, what happened to Ronnie? I'm looking at his
Shore's
picture. He looks
Ronnie
so cute.
was arrested for kidnapping.
Wait.
I know. So there's it's like like trigger warning, domestic violence. So if you don't want to listen to this, fast forward a bit. But looks like Ron allegedly punched, slapped Jen, and then chased her with a knife. I think Jen is the mother of his child.
Okay.
Jen fled the home they were renting in Hollywood, all while Ron was carrying their baby in his arms. Jen apparently was running down the street screaming about her baby being kidnapped and ran to a neighbor's house to help. One witness stated a woman came to the door and saw a shirtless man attack her, police said. Ronnie went back to the house when the police arrived. Ronnie refused to come out. Police busted down the door because they knew Ron had a baby and believed the baby was in danger. Ron had to be tased to be subdued, has been released on a $100,000 bail. Jen reportedly told the cops that Ronnie went off the rails after doing coke.
Ronnie.
I mean, he's got to get off.
Ronnie has always kind of been the more aggressive cast member in a very specific way, where it's a point that just like, oh, Ronnie.
I feel is he on the family reunion show? Do you know? Is he on the?
Oh, I don't know.
If he is, they have to get him off.
Oh my god,
this is insane and horrible, and we can't be supporting things like this. And I just feel like I have never really looked into it because I feel like there have been several stories about Ronnie, and I've never looked into it because I never was a Jersey Shore person. But I just can't let something like this go unreported. It's just get this guy off our televisions. There are people that watch that show. Apparently it does well. It's been on for several seasons, The Family Vacation. Can't we just focus on Snooki and JWoww and the non-problematic Vinny and Pauly D, who I guess seems fine.
And the situation's out of jail now. He
served his time.
It was for tax evasion. So
nothing
guys,
like
I'm
this.
not scared.
I just feel like we have such a cast of characters that having Ronnie on as a violent domestic abuser is just unnecessary, and he should just go off and get help on his own time.
Yeah, Ronnie should have a moment for a while, and Angelina should just never come back. Because Angelina, she quit. Get out of here.
I don't know if she's on the family reunion show though.
Is she not? I mean, I assume they all don't like her.
Really?
Oh, she's the one who the first. She lasted 2 episodes of Jersey Shore and was I'm leaving, and then wasn't around for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah.
And then the show was a massive hit. So of course, season 2, she's like, wait, I'm a part of this show too.
Did she try to come back?
And they were all just like, no, you're not. Go away.
Wow, that's too bad.
I don't think any of them like Angelina. No.
All right, well, Ronnie sucks is the news. We hate him. So okay, Cynthia Erivo is going to be playing Aretha Franklin in Nat Geo's Genius. So apparently there is a new film, season 3 anthology series Genius. Oh, I thought it was a film. Sorry. But apparently Cynthia Erivo is playing Aretha Franklin. I also thought that Jennifer Hudson was playing Aretha Franklin in a movie. Did I make that up?
No, Corey told me that.
Okay,
too.
So maybe that is true. The thing about Cynthia Erivo, and you can tell me because you probably know more than this than I do. I was reading responses to this tweet, and apparently, as a British black person, she has said negative things about American black people. Like she has a history of saying bad things about African Americans.
I've heard this. Yes.
I've only found a couple of tweets that were very weird. Like at some point, she says like in a ghetto American accent, like "I got you, girl," like that kind of thing, and like very mocking. And like, I don't know, making herself out to be better than people that are African American who she seems to keep playing because she just was Harriet and now she's Aretha Franklin. And it's like, well, bitch, if you hate us so much, why do you keep playing us? Why do you keep stealing these roles if you have something so negative to say? And so I need to learn more about what she's tweeted and what she's said because I do love her voice. I think she's such a great vocalist.
Oh, yeah.
And I just hate that someone so talented has to be problematic. Can't we have anybody just be non-problematic, please?
Well, I know she was under fire a little bit with Janelle Monáe because they both made a joke on Twitter about this was when the Popeyes chicken sandwich was really big. They both made a joke on Twitter together about putting polling stations at Popeyes
and it's
places.
like, ma'am, you're not even American.
But and so a lot of people were just like, well, no, you're completely disregarding how like the Voting Rights Act was gutted and everything. And this is why a lot of black people couldn't vote in the 2016 election and all this stuff and everything. So this is sort of an interesting conversation to have. And how do you feel about black British actors constantly being cast as famous African American historical figures?
I mean, I personally don't mind if they are respectful of the history and are respectful of African American people now. And like, because it's like, to me, and maybe this is my, just naivete, but I feel like anti-blackness is global and we should all be in this together kind of thing. Yeah. But if someone is positioning themselves as perceiving themselves to be better than or higher than because they are British and not African American black, like I feel like there were a lot of people, there's like a big colorism debate and there's people that are of Latino descent or like, no, I'm not black, I'm Dominican, and that kind of stuff where it seems like you're making yourself out to be better than just the average American black person. It's like, bitch, I'm American black and I'm fucking amazing. So you should really want to be like me. And so that irks me. So if that's true that Cynthia Erivo feels that way, then yes, I would have a problem with it. But like the David Oyelowo's of the world, I feel like he's never said anything negative. Like not that I've seen about American black people. And so to me, it's like, yeah, if he's the best person for it, I don't personally have a problem. Not that I speak for every black American, but to me, if they are respectful and are willing to honor the people that they are portraying and have never said negative things about the American people that are black, then I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
And I also love her voice. So girl, please get yourself together and apologize and don't be problematic because I want to love you. I remember listening to her. She did like a Last 5 Years performance and I was so in love with her voice and what she does with it. And I would hate to have to not listen to you because she's trash. So don't be trash, Cynthia. Let me love you.
I'm excited. Everyone who's seen Harriet now says that she's excellent in it. So I'm excited to see it. I know it was a role that Viola Davis wanted.
Oh.
So a lot of
Why
people
didn't she get it?
Why wasn't Viola Davis, Harriet Tubman?
It is surprising.
Done, and why was it Cynthia Erivo? So it's kind of, especially because Harriet, I feel, I don't know how old she was in sort of the 1860s and 1850s when the underground, she was working with the Underground Railroad.
Right.
I don't know. I know Harriet Tubman lived to be really old.
Did she really?
I think she lived to be like 90 something.
Oh, queen.
Yeah. So, so I wonder which one between the two is more age appropriate.
Right.
Cynthia Erivo or Viola Davis. I don't know.
Right.
But, yeah. I wonder why that didn't happen.
I only pulled this story because it's about some boy that you had a crush on or have a crush on. Apparently, Devon Sawa is in a feud with Winnipeg, Canada.
Wait, Devon Sawa? Who's Winnipeg, Canada? And I never had a crush on Devon Sawa.
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
Who was the like?
I mean, sure, but I was never like a Devon Sawa.
Who was the guy in Lord of the Rings that you liked?
Sean Astin.
Oh, I thought of them as the same person.
Oh, Jesus. No, Sean Astin's my man.
Who liked Devon Sawa then?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like Devon Sawa was cute, but I wasn't.
Sean Astin.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
he also tweeted that the Earth was flat. Okay. Anyways.
Okay.
There's not too much other news. Only things that only I care about. Tyler Cameron apparently and Gigi Hadid have broken up.
I have no idea who Tyler Cameron is.
Tyler Cameron is Tyler C from The Bachelorette.
Oh, the one that you like. Okay.
Yes, and he's, a king, and he's wonderful, and apparently he and Gigi have broken up, and it's sad news, but I'm sure he's going to do great in his life. He just was featured in GQ, and it's like, are you going to be just like an actual celebrity off of The Bachelorette? Like, who does that? How did you do it?
The answer is no.
I mean, he might be. He's one of the most, I think he's the most famous contestant at this point.
I mean, and Nicole's the most famous contestant on Big Brother.
Do not compare. Do not compare.
They're not famous.
Are you serious? Tyler almost has 2 million Instagram followers. How many Instagram followers does Nicole have?
She just got an Instagram, so she's 8. still building. She's still building her audience.
Please do not compare the audience of Tyler C to Nicole. We love Nicole. She's likable, whatever. I think we're going to be hearing about Tyler Cameron for a long time.
Okay. Well, when he's a guest on the podcast, I'll apologize.
You will,
personally.
because I'm Team Tyler. So Hannah B is also doing great on Dancing with the Stars. So I'm glad they're both living their great lives separately. And hey, maybe they'll get back together now that he's single. I don't think they should, but whatever. I have lots of feelings about this. Martin Scorsese doesn't think Marvel movies are cinema. In other news.
This was the fight of the week, guys. I loved every second of it. I love just watching men tear each other down.
I know. I love that we're just loving on the men feuds this week, but I feel like there's so much focus on women feuding, and it's like all these white dudes are feuding too.
Oh, they're
and
just screaming at each other. I love it.
And Martin Scorsese says, although he's tried to watch them, he doesn't think the Marvel movies are cinema. I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with the actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experience to another human being. Oh, funny.
I like it's and everyone is just like the Marvel heads are
They're
just
so mad,
going nuts, and it's kind of just like, guys, you're not victims here. Like,
right.
Guys, I know you all want to keep that sort of like, we're nerds mentality and everything, but you're literally running the movie industry.
Absolutely.
Marvel movies consist of 1/3 of all profits in movie theaters.
Is that true?
Yes. You guys are just swallowing the movie theaters whole, the industry whole. You are gonna be fine, okay? And everyone's just like, let people like what they like, let people like what they like. But it's also kind of like, let people not like what they don't like.
Right.
Like, who cares what Martin
exactly. Like, why are we so concerned with what Martin Scorsese thinks? Have I ever seen a Martin Scorsese movie, do we think?
That was my phone.
Oh, was it yours?
I would imagine you have.
Name some of their movies.
Goodfellas,
No.
Raging Bull.
No.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
The Departed.
No.
Maybe
not.
He did. For some reason, Shutter Island's come to mind.
No.
Hugo.
No. Wait, what's Hugo?
Hugo is the one with the little boy and lives in the train station.
No.
Casino.
No.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
okay.
Clearly, of all of the movies that are being discussed in this conversation, I have seen Black Panther. And I liked it.
Well, my thing with Martin Scorsese with that comment is it's kind of just like, I understand what he's saying, because to him, cinema is very much a director's medium. The director controls every single solitary thing, and so much of it depends on the director. I understand the theme park line is kind of like a low blow, but like, I understand what he's saying, because it's like when you direct one of these Marvel movies, and they do have great directors like attached, like Ryan Coogler directed Black Panther and everything. But when you direct one of these Marvel movies, you don't have as much say.
Yeah, you have to like play in their world.
You are every single inch of that movie is not dictated for you, but like it has to pass through a lot of people and get approved by a lot of people. You don't have full control as a director as you do with other movies that aren't huge franchises like Marvel, DC, or Disney or something like that. So I understand what he's saying in the sense that just like I could see him liking movies where they really are a director's full vision and the director does everything they want to do. So I fully understand what Martin Scorsese's saying. I just love watching everyone.
I mean, don't we all? Like,
and watching
this is
people
truly
just play the victim. Like, oh, my poor Marvel movies. You don't respect them. It's just like, shut up. Like,
you're making all of the money. It's fine.
You are absolutely fine. And also what a lot of people are saying, oh, I don't like his absolutism when he's just like, this isn't cinema and everything. because that's an opinion, and he should say that, like, that's just his opinion. And it kind of just brings me back to sometimes we get comments on our videos if we say something like, oh, this song sucks, or like, this isn't a real song, like this, you know, when we sort of speak hyperbolically, I guess. If you have to be warned beforehand that an opinion is an opinion,
right,
like, maybe the internet's not for you. Like, of course it's an opinion.
It's like the things that I say that aren't like straight facts from Wikipedia are opinions.
Yes, it's like,
that's like how language works.
Yeah, we learn what opinions are between, like, we learn how to differentiate them between facts in like second grade or third grade or whatever. So like, not every comment you make has to be like, now this is just my opinion, but like, I didn't like it. It's just like, no, this sucks. And of course that's an opinion, but like, I'm just going to say it factually because I'm being dramatic.
Yeah. And you can tell what's subjective and what's not, and like, get over yourselves. Yeah. I have no dog in this fight. I would see a Black Panther 2, and I don't plan to see seeing any Martin Scorsese movies, but you know, keep fighting, girls. I mean, have fun.
You're not going to see The Irishman, which is apparently 3 hours long.
No,
but apparently a masterpiece.
Well, I'll have to know about it. You can tell me all about it. I absolutely won't see it.
I'm gonna see it.
I mean, I hope you have a day to spare.
I mean, I'm gonna do what I did when I saw the 25th anniversary of Schindler's List a couple months, like back in last year. I bought the Bavarian Legend, which is a 1.5 pound pretzel, soft pretzel, and ate the entire thing for those 3 hours. Hey. That's what you have to do for a 3-hour movie. Just buy the Bavarian Legend at AMC.
That'll make it through. You'll make it through. With
That's how you make it through Holocaust movies, guys.
That seems so devastating.
It was a devastating experience, but you know what? I had my giant 1.5 pound soft pretzel to
so
get me
eat
through.
Your feelings with
so
that.
I am excited to see The Irishman so I can have a Bavarian Legend again.
Okay. Well, everybody's got their something. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Giving You Moments, Darling, and Email My Heart.
I didn't know which one of us is going to start. You start.
Well, welcome back. Spoiler, we're back. And now we're back to Matt Steele's favorite section of the show, which is
Email My Heart and say our love will never die. That's the line, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
What's Email My Heart about?
Email My Heart is where you can email us at twogaymats@gmail.com to spell TWO, and you can ask us questions.
Yay.
And we will answer 2 of them on the podcast.
And truly nothing makes me happier than receiving a 2Gay Mats podcast email, so please keep sending.
I know, we keep getting more and more every single week, and it's so sad because I'm just like, I want to answer all of these because I want to give everyone a shout out, but guys.
It's hard being us.
But shout out to Mark who gave us like a bunch of links of things that we should watch. So we are going to click on them and watch them.
And also, Mark, you asked what underrated R&B artists. I completely agree with you on Tamia. She should have had more hits. I really love... what's the song I always sing to you when for some reason we're going to Fernando's house? I sing it.
Stranger in My House.
Stranger in My House. What
classic.
An iconic piece of music. Into You, of course. So many great songs from Tamia. I also felt like Deborah Cox should have had more. We all know Nobody's Supposed to Be Here. And I remember she did have a follow-up like medium hit in We Can't Be Friends, which featured RL from Next. Just 2 artists that if you haven't listened to them, you should check out. Oh, and also Eric Benet. I was listening to Spend My Life with You with Tamia the other day. And I was like, love.
Okay, but what about the genius that you introduced me to, Jamelia?
Oh, Jamelia.
I love Jamelia.
Absolutely. There's so much on that first Jamelia album. There's honestly on both of those Jamelia albums, the first 2. Excellent. Superstar was a huge hit when I was in Europe for like a chorus trip or something. And so I got very into Jamelia back then.
We all love Jamelia.
And guys. Craig David, of course. Craig David forever.
And we also got a quick email from Angela, who was a Doomsday Diaries fan.
Wow.
Who talked about, the main part of our email was talking about Nicole. And I was like, oh, no, Angela. Angela also asked, like, are we ever going to do meetups? And if so, are we going to go to New York or if they're going to be in LA? We do not have any meetups planned.
We don't have any planned, but hey, you guys tell us if you guys want us to have a meetup in LA mostly, but also if New York, if you have enough people. If you're interested in that, that's something we could do. Or even like a live, my dream would be like a live podcast or live like
that would be
video
so much fun.
Event thing. Yeah. So LA people first, tell us if you would go to that. Tell us if you're interested in or in the area, and we would love to do one. We just haven't really put it together.
Yeah,
and we don't know if there are enough people watching or listening.
I know.
But
so best way to do that is to share our videos. Tell all your friends about us.
Email us that you would come, and we'll be like, you said you'd come. It'll be great.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be there with like 3 people, and like, we got 7 emails. I don't know where the other 4 people went,
but we're mad at them. We're telling them on the podcast.
Okay, we got an email from Lana, but we already answered a Lana question.
But we love you, and thank you for emailing.
So how about Lucia? We've never answered a question from Lucia before.
Okay.
Lucia is saying, loving all the talk about Little Shop of Horrors, the off-Broadway production, the Pasadena production, and she's currently assistant musical directing a professional production in D.C. opening in just 2 weeks. Break a leg, so Lucia, and everyone in that production of Little Shop of Horrors. She's been working on the show, and she says it's becoming increasingly apparent that the character of Oren, the dentist, is problematic, even though his big song, which is hilarious, doesn't cover the shadow that he casts on the show as it is being produced in this current era of #MeToo. For Palmer, Oren is the boyfriend of the character of Audrey, and he's a semi-sadist who pushes her around and physically abuses her in public.
Yikes.
But then he's murdered and fed to a plant.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. But her question is, with all the musicals being revived and remade, Gypsy, West Side Story, etc., do you think that Hollywood should be using this opportunity to change the story in order to make it more culturally appropriate for how we've grown as a society, or is that betraying the story? And I think this is a very interesting question.
It is, absolutely.
And just to touch on the character of Oren, I don't really see him as being that problematic. I mean, him as a character, he's obviously a villain.
Yeah. Do you see him being abusive in the film or in the show? Like physically abusive to Audrey?
No, it's more implied.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on how it's directed, I'm sure. I think there are some moments where she like comes in and she has like a black eye. She has a broken arm, like her arm in a cast. He's like, do you have the handcuffs? And she's like, they're in my purse. Like, and like stuff like that. And is it
played for laughs, or is it just like, oh no, this is what's happening?
It's played for. It's hard to describe. It's because it's a dark comedy, and it's like a spoof off of like the B-rate Hollywood movies, like horror movies and everything. So it's his character is played for comedy, but when it comes to the abuse stuff, it is more dramatic.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. He is portrayed as a villain, and he gets murdered. He gets his what's due him. But I don't know. His semi-sadism is played for laughs.
Yeah.
Like in the fact he sings a song about how he loves causing other people pain. That's why he's a dentist. Like, but also like murdering people, chopping them up, and feeding them to plants is also played for laughs.
Right.
You know. So I don't know. But when it comes to that question, I would say this is where having a great director comes in handy. And of course, every situation's different. There are some shows or moments in shows where it's like, ooh, yeah, maybe let's cut out that line, or let's maybe not produce this show anymore. But for most shows, I think if you get a smart director who knows how to handle it well, it can be done in a way that sheds more light upon something. Like for God's sake, why have we not gotten like a huge professional production of Carousel directed by a woman? Like why it's all about like there are parts about domestic abuse and toxic masculinity in Carousel, but it's always directed by men. Why not have, and some people criticize the show for not shedding enough light on the female character, Julie. So if the show was directed by a woman, I feel like you would get such a different, more complex, interesting perspective that sort of solves that problem. But you know, so I think it really depends on the show.
Yeah, and it depends on the instance. Also, the way that you described the Little Shop of Horrors thing didn't sound so bad. To me, it felt like, okay, this person is problematic, but he dies. Like, it's like he's played as the villain. He ends up getting fed to a plant. Like, no one's like pro this guy. Like, you don't walk out and think this is okay. It's different when you see musicals where like the hero will do something or like be like hitting on an underage girl, or just things that are like, okay, that we need to change. But this whole storyline, it would have the same messaging today. And I mean, even though it's things that are coming up in the lexicon and saying, oh, we don't want to see abuse and things like that, they're not showing it, which I think is good. And then also, even though it's not something obviously that you want to glorify, it's also something that still happens. And so not talking about it, I don't think is the solution. I think it's portraying it as like, oh yeah, this guy's really fucking awful and this is unacceptable and like, let's feed him to a plant.
And a lot of times like these problematic flaws are the flaws of the character.
Right.
Like Billy Bigelow has an anger issue. Like the King and I is obviously like closed-minded. He,
Right. If they're portrayed as flaws, that's one thing. If it's like the hero is doing something that like nowadays, like, oh, don't do that. Like if we're going around like slapping secretaries' butts and stuff, it's like, no.
Yeah, it's like I genuinely don't like it when things are hugely rewritten, especially for reasons that aren't problematic, like the whole like J-Lo Bye Bye Birdie fiasco, which was just like J-Lo's.
Is that still happening?
No, thank God, because it was just like, I don't like that the character's a secretary, so we're gonna change the entire plot of Bye Bye Birdie, and it's like,
you didn't
what?
Like that.
Women are secretaries.
Right, that's okay.
They were secretaries, especially back then.
Right.
So it depends on the show, and it depends on the
next question.
Next question. This one is for this is from Donnie.
Ooh.
Matt Palmer was like, you need to answer this.
Yes,
ask this question.
to.
So Donnie says, hey y'all, I have to know what Matt Palmer, open to steal of course, kissy face, thinks about Stacie Orrico and her self-titled album. Since it was Christian pop, it was one of the few things I could listen to while living with my Pentecostal cousins. I revisited the album recently. I've just been living for the nostalgia. The subject of the email is for the nostalgia, darling, which I love. Loves the show, the podcast. Mariah Albums as Boyfriends video was the first one Donnie watched and has been hooked ever since. We love you, Donnie.
Donnie, you are my people. The amount of days I've spent trying to get anyone to talk to me about Stacie Orrico, I can count on more than one hand. That's just what I'll say. That album is absolutely excellent. I remember first hearing Stuck on TRL and being like, who is this girl? She can sing her face off. I love her mole. I love the song. I just was in. And then, of course, There's Gotta Be More to Life, which I think, even though at the time I feel like was less popular, has become her most enduring classic. I feel like people reference There's Gotta Be More to Life. If I look at her Spotify right now, it is the number one song on her Spotify. So the number one song Stacie Orrico fans are listening to these days.
Sing the song to me.
There's gotta be more to life than chasing down every temporary high. You satisfy me.
Yes. I recognize that.
Okay, good.
That's definitely a melody that you would like.
Oh,
like that's a Matt Palmer melody if I ever heard one.
It jumps, it goes down. I love a rangy melody, and she's got it. I love that song. I also think other highlights from this album are I Promise I Will, and Hesitation is great, and also Strong Enough, which is her piano ballad. It's like her vanishing, like I will be Christina moment, and it's just like, you better sing. I think that album is nostalgic and wonderful, but I also think it holds up vocally. It's just like you can't ignore her. Like she has it. Okay, she deserved more. I think I must have mentioned her on one of our underrated albums videos, because maybe in like the huge list of albums that I found for underrated.
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass to edit.
I bet. We should do that again.
It looks great.
That was a good video. We should do a part 2. But yes, I love Stacie Orrico. She deserved more from all of us, and we should all be ashamed of ourselves that she's not a megastar right now.
Okay, guys. All right. You heard it here.
Those are my feelings. All right, Matt Steele. It's time for everyone's favorite segment, besides that segment, which was your favorite. For my favorite segment, giving you moments, darling, where we talk about what this week has kept us alive, kept us going, giving us life. And Matt Steele, what this week has given you moments?
Guys, this is so pathetic.
I'm excited.
But I love apartment shopping. We told you we were moving and everything, looking for new apartments. And there is nothing I love more than going online, looking at pictures, and then eventually going to see empty apartments. I love empty apartments because first of all, I love like layouts of like buildings and stuff. I love looking at that.
It's very much like your love of maps.
I love geography. Yes. And so I love empty apartments because there's so much potential. And then of course, like when you actually have to fulfill that potential, you're just like, oh fuck. But whatever. When there's so much potential and just the excitement of a new place. And like, I love our apartment now and everything, but
It's fine.
You get used to a certain rhythm and everything, and things feel like, I feel like getting a new apartment will just sort of jumpstart us into
Absolutely.
just like, no, let's try new things. Let's get new furniture. Let's.
I've got new furniture,
Okay,
bitch.
this is me. This is me.
All right.
New furniture and new things and maybe new, who knows, new screenplays, new wardrobe,
Yes.
new everything. So
Yes.
it's just sort of like a kick in the butt of just
Yes.
like new, fresh things.
I really want that one place I sent you that we're going to be able to see on the 15th.
Okay.
I really want that one. The floors everywhere is fucking hardwood or linoleum. I don't care. Whatever it is. Fake hardwood or real
I hope it's not linoleum.
I don't care. If it's fake or real, I will take the hardwood-esque things that are on the
hardwood,
floor.
yes. Linoleum's very different.
Oh, well, what is the fake hardwood?
I don't know, but it's not linoleum.
Okay, well, it's something.
linoleum is like bathroom floor.
Oh, well, that would be better than our current fucking carpets, which I fucking hate. Yes, I really want that one. The only that one has a dishwasher. It has a steel fridge. It has steel appliances everywhere. The only downside is it's a 1.5 bath versus a 2 bath, and we've been spoiled with a 2 bath.
Yeah.
But we're going to be paying so much more in this area now because we had a very good deal in this current apartment. So, I mean, I could take a couple $100 off.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's the same neighborhood, but like slightly different part of it. So
Yes.
like, it's slightly different.
Oh, I hope we get it. Oh, sorry, I can't get to it.
I'm a little nervous though because like our Ralphs will be different, and I've been going to the same Ralphs.
Will it be that if we go to that one?
There's a Ralph's.
Closer on Wilshire?
Yeah.
That Ralph sucks.
Oh no.
You can drive like a 2-minute drive.
I know, but I'm used to walking to
Oh,
Ralph's.
bitch, I've walked to Ralph's once and Ubered back. And I was like, that walk was horrible. So yeah, I'll still be driving to our old Ralph. So you will have a new Ralph. So good luck with that.
Oh.
If you want to talk more about the apartment shopping?
No, I'm just excited.
I'm
New fresh
excited.
things, new beginnings.
Yes, new beginnings. Well, this has been giving me life. I actually forgot. It should have been my giving me life for last week, but it is my giving me life for this week because I forgot it. But the queen of the world, Mariah Carey, is re-releasing Merry Christmas for the 25th anniversary. She has re-released this album several times. I've bought every edition. Jesus. But this is the re-release I am most excited about because she, right when the album came out, she performed basically the whole album at a church in New York called St. John the Divine. And I believe we only have a high quality recording, high quality film version of her Joy to the World there. And she just sounds unbelievably excellent. And so the second disc of the re-released album is going to have the full St. John the Divine concert. We're going to hear her All of Christmas Is You. We're going to hear her God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. This is arguably not arguably, it's definitely one of her vocal primes. Maybe her vocal prime was the Merry Christmas era. She is so strong, but still so, she can still jump up to the head voice so easily. Obviously the whistle register is everywhere, but it's so powerful. It's like borderline raspy. It's just wonderful, what a tone she has at that moment. And I feel like we gotta hear the live performance all the way through of all of these songs for me to really enjoy it. And
How long is this album going to be?
Oh, it's a 2-disc set.
Oh.
It's 2 CD set. So the first CD is just going to be the regular album with God Rest You Merry Gentlemen added to it, which if you don't have that version of the album, you've got to listen to that song on YouTube right now. It is all a cappella, much like our a cappella Mariah's. And it's just a bunch of Mariah's singing to you. It's wonderful. And then the second disc is going to have a new intro version of the Sugar Plum Fairy, which she does in her whistle register, all of it, I think.
Okay.
There was a preview on her Instagram, and then that live concert, and then some remixes that I have and have heard all before. But the point is, I feel like she's putting as much effort into getting All I Want for Christmas Is You to go number 1.
Oh yeah, all the videos of just
can.
is it Christmas yet?
She's
Is it
not
Christmas
yet.
Not yet.
I'm telling you, November 1st, it's all happening. As Sheena would say, it's all happening.
I will be having it on loop on my Spotify.
But wait until the last week of the Christmas, because I think the charting week ends, I think, Christmas Day or something. And so we're going to get a full 7 days of All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's when you need to be looping the song. That's when, if it's going to go number 1, that's when it will. And I just think Mariah having 19 that not being one of her number 1s is truly preposterous.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
It's at this point her signature song, her most known hit, and so
Yeah.
we've got to all do our part. And I'm so glad there's going to be a re-release for the true fans of St. John the Divine.
She needs a number 1 this decade, so she can have
Yes.
number 1s in all 3 decades.
Yes.
Not that we're naming years, but
No, of course not.
No,
we don't acknowledge yours.
She needs a number 1 of a song that's 25 years old. Not that we're naming years, but
Yes, and it would be the song that debuted between the time of its debut and its ascent to number one would obviously be the longest. I guess it'd be 25 years.
It'd be a quarter of a century.
And it's just like, I need that for her and for me and for all of us.
And for the world.
And for the world.
And for Jesus.
Yes.
Guys, do it for the baby Jesus.
I mean, that song's pretty secular. But yes, I'm sure Jesus likes it.
She's singing All I Want for Christmas Is You is Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, we could be interpreted that way.
That's a stretch, but I believe it.
Okay. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to go to our main channel at youtube.com/2gaymats. Also go to patreon.com/2gaymats. For as little as $1 a video, you get a bonus video from us every single week. Do you have anything else to tell the people?
That we love you all.
Yes. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with another 2 Gay Mats podcast.
Bye.
Bye.